Yes, the answer to the first question, the white supremacists, they practice killing each other. Yeah, killing is fun.
Police in Colorado are being sued for assaulting a 73-year-old woman who lives with dementia. So her crime is the only crime, really, disrespecting a police officer, not following the police officer's commands, and this stemmed from forgetting to pay $13 for stuff at Walmart. So now the video that I'm about to show you is incredibly disturbing. And so content warning on this. And what it's going to show is Officer Austin Hopp making an arrest of 73-year-old Karen Garner, who you can see from the video, she's not going to understand what exactly is happening around her as she's being arrested. And again, content warning. Here we go.
All right, let's stop, ma'am. I don't think you want to play it this way. Ma'am, please stop. You want to stop with lights on, siren? Stop. You just left Walmart. Do you need to be arrested right now? No. Okay. Let's stop. Come on.
I'm going home.
No, on the ground. Stay on the ground.
I'm going home.
On the ground. On the ground. On the ground. Bravo 242. After a short struggle, she's now detained. Come on. I am code 4.
Do that.
Why did you do that? I told you to stop. You don't get to act this way. Come on, stay on the ground.
Okay. So, that's incredibly hard to watch. So from what I could see, she did not look like she was there. I think there was some obvious, there's obviously something wrong with her. Okay. And that's not to be ableist. It's just that she didn't seem like she was understanding what was going on. She had no idea what was happening to her. So it had no idea what she was doing wrong. Now, according to the complaint, this would be true. Garner has cortical dementia. Now, this is characterized by the impairment of at least 2 different brain functions, according to the lawsuit. On top of that, she has something called sensory aphasia, which they described as an inability to understand spoken, written, or tactile speech symbols that result from damage to the area of the brain concerned with language. So understand that she could not understand what the police officer was telling her to do. She couldn't really understand, like, I want you to stop. I'm arresting you. Do you understand that you're under arrest for stealing from Walmart, essentially? She couldn't understand. Now, maybe had there been a social worker on hand, well, maybe, they could have understood what to do, because they would have training to deal with people with mental illness. But of course, it gets worse, as it always does. Again, more content warnings. Here it is.
Why are you doing this, ma'am? All right. Stand up.
I'm not doing anything.
Right now you're resisting, which is not going to fly with me. And before that, you tried to steal from Walmart. And they caught you and took the stuff back.
I'm not going anywhere.
Why are you fighting with me? And why are you trying to slip the cuffs off?
I'm going home.
Stop.
I'm going home.
No, you're not. Are you finished? Are you finished? We don't play this game. You understand me? If you try to kick me, oh, this is going to be bad.
I'm going home.
Stop.
I'm going home. I'm going home. I'm going
Quit.
home. Ow.
Are you finished?
I'm going home.
Hey, stand up. We're not going to hold you.
All right, let's just go to the ground. On the ground.
I'm going home.
On the ground. Why are you doing this? Let me see who she is.
I'm going home. I'm going home.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to search her real quick.
So the lawsuit explains that around that time where you just saw, Officer Hop had actually dislocated this woman's shoulder, Garner's shoulder. So it is fractured. And so notice how one of the few things that she said, she couldn't answer the question. She didn't know what was going on. She didn't answer the police officer because there was no understanding. It was just, let me go. I'm going home. I'm going home. And it makes me wonder, like, wait, did her reaction of just complete and utter confusion, did that not set up a red flag? Did that not make the officer think, I think there's something wrong with her. Wait, she doesn't seem to understand my commands. Perhaps I should not manhandle her. But no, that's not what happened, obviously.
So we got to understand who we're dealing with. With black people, if you told somebody, hey, we just handcuffed a nigga and beat him up, you wouldn't get no points for that. You understand? You wouldn't get no points for that among other black people. Like, really? You handcuffed a nigga and beat him up? Yeah, we whooped that nigga's ass. He was handcuffed. He couldn't move. We beat him. All right, nigga, why you do that? That's looked upon as weak. That's a sucker move. You understand? So we think differently than the white supremacists. That's their deal. They have to take a win any way they can. The name of the game with them is taking advantage of weak people or people in weakened positions. You understand?
Get a lot of men. We have all the men and women that you need. But people aren't calling them up. You have to dominate. If you don't dominate, you're wasting your time. They're going to run over you. You're going to look like a bunch of jerks. You have to dominate.
And it makes me wonder, like, wait, did her reaction of just complete and utter confusion, did that not set up a red flag? Did that not make the officer think, I think there's something wrong with her. Wait, she doesn't seem to understand my commands. Perhaps I should not manhandle her. But no, that's not what happened, obviously. Instead of thinking, hey, we might be dealing with somebody who's mentally impaired, maybe we should call an ambulance, see what's going on here. No, it's, you're resisting, and now I must use maximum force against you to restrain you. This was so shocking that it ended up bringing in a bystander who was concerned about this lady. In fact, here's that interaction, which ends with something that is completely and utterly ironic. Take a look.
Who's my sergeant?
Yeah.
Okay, well, first, I can tell you that. Sergeant Metzler, he's at the police department. You can go talk to him if you have an issue.
Yeah, give me your card so I can put a report.
Okay.
I see you there, how you throw the little kid.
Little kid?
Well, I don't know.
He's not a little kid. And this is what happened.
He was just walking, and I see you how you grab him.
Stole from Walmart and refused to stop, refused to listen to lawful orders, and to fight me. This is what happens when you fight the police. I have to use force to safely detain her. That's what this is. This isn't just some random act of aggression.
Oh, well,
I don't know if you realize that.
Yeah, well, the way that I see it from over there, okay. I was like, that's not...
But you don't know the whole situation. That's the thing.
Yeah, but it's like...
But knowing the situation, do you feel differently now?
Oh, yeah. But
That's
like seeing it from there, that guy just walking...
Yeah, I get that. I get that. So when I went to go grab her and talk to her, she started running, leaving, pulling away from me, trying to fight me.
Well, that's the thing. I didn't see it running,
Exactly. So before you go to a snap judgment, you gotta get all the facts.
But right here, she wasn't running.
I get that.
I see her walking right there. You pull over.
I gotta deal with this. You hang tight, okay?
Woe to you, teachers of the law and Pharisees, you hypocrites! You give 1/10 of your spices, mint, dill, and cumin. But you have neglected the more important matters of the law, justice, mercy, and faithfulness. You should have practiced the latter without neglecting the former. You blind guides. You strain out a gnat, but swallow a camel.
But right here, she wasn't running.
I get that.
I see her walking right there. You pull over.
I got to deal with this. You hang tight, okay?
And that was it. That really aged poorly. Because it turns out the police officer did not know the facts. He apparently did not know that she had dementia, despite signs that something was absolutely wrong. She could not comply with your commands because she couldn't understand them. That's the issue. Okay? And by the way, here's the shoplifting complaint. Okay? According to the complaint, Garner allegedly left a Walmart without paying for $13.88 worth of merchandise. Now, she didn't just go with you. You didn't see, her holding anything. So you think, well, what did she steal? Well, it turns out that she didn't actually take anything. Employees stopped her, took back the items, and then when she offered her credit card to pay for something, they declined. So they just took it back and then called the cops on her. So now it was reported by the complaint that she was unable to communicate with them or understand what was happening, but apparently had enough of a lucid moment to offer her credit card. And yet this officer came down on her like a ton of bricks after the fact. Because, again, she didn't leave with stolen merchandise. There was no merchandise left to recover. It was already at the store, and they let her go. The people at the store let her go. And so at the end of the day, there was nothing. There was nothing. But no, $13.88. You tried to steal from a Walmart, so now we're coming for you. And this entire thing happens. And by the way, the bystander, bless his heart, he came and he was like, wow, that's a problem. She's like 80 pounds. And she, like I said, weighs pretty much nothing. It looks pretty frail and incredibly confused. And none of that stopped this police officer from using maximum force. All told, the lawsuit states that Garner sustained a fractured and dislocated shoulder, scrapes to her face, a bloody nose, contusions to her knees. The lawsuit also states that forgetting to pay for items at a store is one of the most common and well-known symptoms witnessed in elderly persons suffering from dementia. And that's pretty bad. And one more fact makes it even worse. So now this arrest happens, and you've got three people involved. You ended up having the police sergeant, Metzler, involved. You also had the partner, Jalali, as well as the arresting officer, Hop. They ended up taking her in and then covering it up. So now Garner ended up being denied access to medical care once she had been put into the jail. So, from the complaint, quote, Ms. Garner's right to be free from unreasonable seizure and excessive force is described herein was clearly established at the time the defendant officers Hop, Jalali, and Metzler attacked her, handcuffed her, broke her arm. They hogtied her as well. That's something that is also in the entire full video. I didn't have time to show you that as well. But yes, they did hogtie her as well to put her in the car. And then they kept her in isolation away from medical care, in pain, and in handcuffs for a total of 6 hours.
Because that evil element is still in the air. That evil mindset has been set. That evil has been normalized. See, that's the thing with white supremacy y'all don't understand. That evil and that karma comes back, and that evil cannot be contained. Once you set a precedent for evil, it will eventually seep on your side of town.
A video recently released by the lawyer of the woman who had dementia, who had her shoulder dislocated, by police officers in Colorado shows officers laughing and high-fiving after her arrest. Now, the lawyer for Karen Garner, 73-year-old Colorado woman with dementia, who was arrested by Loveland police in a video that went viral, I showed this on my show, also showed that these officers, while refusing to provide her with medical attention, thought that this was awesome and hilarious, and they actually went and watched the body cam footage again because of how wonderful it was and how much fun they had arresting this woman. Take a look.
Body cams are my favorite thing to watch. I would watch live TV body cams all day.
Are you finished? We don't play this game. You understand me? If you try to kick me, don't give me that. You come on out, Charlie. I'm here.
Okay. Wow. That's disgusting. Look, as you could see, they were happy about this. Like, oh yeah, I dislocated the shoulder of this 80-pound frail little woman. Oh yeah, look at how tough and amazing I am. Oh, look at that. Fucking ACAB. Holy crap. And I urge you to watch the whole video. It's 14 minutes long. And it's just disgusting. Now, this horrific statement, her lawyer, the lawyer for this woman, said this. The horrific statement comes to light after Ms. Garner's family hired a sound engineer to enhance the audio on Loveland Police Station booking videos from the day of Karen's arrest. The video reveals a grotesque culture of callous disregard for the health and safety of citizens. The officers fist bump one another multiple times in self-congratulation for both the assault on Garner and the intimidation of the citizen who attempted to complain about it. So that's what that last thing was about. Remember that the person that came to say, hey, I just saw you throw this child down. What are you doing? What's going on here? And the officer, famously replied with, well, you can't just make a snap judgment. You got to wait for the facts. Well, the fact was that she was 73 years old with dementia. She couldn't understand the instructions of the police and therefore was brutalized for it. Now, she said, the lawyer continued by saying, Loveland knew, they'd known all along. They failed Karen Garner, they failed the community, and they did it all on camera. Do you realize how horrifying that is? That means they were used to getting away with it, that the comfortable norm in Loveland is one of zero accountability, that this is not just some isolated incident, it is not one single problem, it is widespread sociopathic criminality.
So what the movie is more of a look at the Trumpian times that we're in, how we got here, because he didn't just fall out of the sky. Mm-hmm. What did we do? What was our part in this that allowed this to happen?
These are the photos Aurora police now say were taken by their own officers in October, mocking the death of Elijah McClain.
We are ashamed, we're sickened, and we're angry. While the allegations of this internal affairs case are not criminal, it is a crime against humanity and decency.
Late today, the city's interim police chief announced these 2 officers would be fired for conduct unbecoming. A third would have been fired but resigned first. A fourth was also let go after getting the photos in a group text and responding, "ha ha." That 4th officer, Jason Rosenblatt, had also been involved in the initial encounter with McClain.
To say ha ha when he was engaged in the incident with Elijah McClain is absolutely unacceptable.
McClain was a 23-year-old massage therapist. His family says he sometimes wore a ski mask to keep warm because he was anemic.
Stop. I have a right to stop you because you're being suspicious.
He was walking home when Aurora officers stopped him and shortly after tackled him, applied a carotid hold, and later a sedative. McClain died at the hospital days later. The coroner said the cause of death was undetermined. An internal police investigation found the officers followed policies and the district attorney declined to file charges. But last week, the governor appointed a special prosecutor to investigate.
The Aurora Police Department has a long, sordid, horrible history of both racism and brutality. That needs to stop today.
In the wake of George Floyd's death, McClain's case has drawn renewed attention nationwide. Tonight, these pictures are sparking new outrage.
Not only do we have a racism problem in America, we have a morality problem in America, right? The fact that someone could make light of someone's death in any fashion is just, it's immoral.
Late today, the Aurora Police Union released a statement calling the internal investigation a rush to judgment and saying that the Aurora police chief was unfit for her position. Tonight, another protest is scheduled here.